In today's Photoshop lesson, we'd like to learn a few things about the history brush and the art history brush. So let's get started. The history brush is located right here in the toolbar, and let's see, if I click and hold, I get the history brush tool right there. That's what we'll start with. The settings are set for normal. Well, let me get a decent brush here. This one should work fine. We get a soft brush. Okay, and as usual, what we might want to do to a photo like this is reduce these dark lines underneath the eye. So we normally would do that with what I call the J tool. It's also known as the healing brush. So we get the healing brush. Let's get the real healing brush. So that would be the healing brush tool, not the spot healing brush. I'll sample below, and we'll just kind of paint in this area underneath the eye. And you can see the plus sign. That's where it's picking up the pixels from and putting them on top. Okay, so we do that. We'll do the other side. I'll click here to sample, and then I'll run this brush across to reduce these eyes, something like that. Okay, you may look at it and say, oh, that looks great, but you might also say, oh, wait a minute, it's too much. We got to bring some of that back. Now, we didn't make an extra layer over here. We didn't make any layer. We can't reduce the opacity or anything like that. We're just working on the background layer. So that's where the history brush comes in, which is located right here. We'll click on history brush, set for 50%. I got the decent brush, and now I can actually paint back that part of the eye. Now the reason why I can do that is because, see, the history state locator is right here. I can move it to any one of these boxes. Now it's taking us back to this history state, which was the original. So that means that it's going to bring back those pixels. Now I'll go back where we were, and let's say this one looks good too, but maybe 50% is too strong here. Maybe that's too strong, and I want to go to 30%. So I tap 3 on the keyboard. That brings up 30%. Now I'll paint this in. Now it won't be going back quite as strong as the other one did. Okay, now let's see how that looks. Before and after, before and after. Anyway, it's the history brush that can bring that back. Let's take a look at another one. On this one, let's say we wanted to get rid of this fire hydrant, hose, whatever that thing is right there. I'm going to hit the Z key to bring up the zoom tool, and we'll zoom in on this area. Now I'm just going to do a quick and dirty patch on this, but it's not because I want to show you more of the history brush and I do how to actually clone this in. I'm going to hit the stamp tool. I'll click right in this area right here to mark it. Now I do have, if you go up here and you click on this one, it brings up this little box, and I do have show overlay checked, and that shows me what I'm going to paste, so it helps me line things up. Show overlay, and I clicked on this box up here. I'm going to turn this off for now. So now see how I can kind of, I already alt click, now I'm lining this up, and as I paint over this I can kind of get rid of this. Okay, now I have to do it again because we got more to do here. And like I say, this isn't going to be a real good job because what I want to show you is about to come up here. Let's say we do this. Okay, and you go, oh, that looks good, except you went too far. Well, that's where the Y, let's get rid of this. Y is shortcut for the history brush comes in. Normal, opacity, 100%, little tiny brush. We're going to go back to the original state. See, that's the original state up there. I'm going to run this down here, smaller brush even. There. And now I fix that without redoing the whole thing. But you might say, I think you need a little more sticking out here. Okay, if you do that, I want to go back to where I cloned it, right there. And I want to actually, so I put the history state there, so when I paint with the history brush, it's going to do whatever was there. So you might want that little piece sticking out. Maybe you like that better. And we can trim it up like that. So anyway, that's what I wanted to show you there. Okay, the next one, let's see what we got. Okay, we got these two girls, and now you can use a history brush to do many things. For instance, you can add contrast. Let me show you how you do that. We got the history brush, and all we do is change the mode from normal to overlay. And let's set it for about 50%. I'm going to tap the 5 key, hit enter, then tap the 5 key, and I get 50%. I'm going to go down here, hit the right bracket key, make it a little bigger, and now it's set for overlay mode up here. And as I drag this, I want you to notice, see if you think that red hair is going to get a little redder. Okay, I did it twice, just to be sure to show you. I'll do the before, see the hair change? Wrong key. And after. Before and after. Okay, let's say we wanted to add a little contrast to their logos here. We just hit those. And you can do more than just contrast. This looks a little dark in here. Let's zoom in a little bit. This looks a little dark. We can go up here and change from overlay to screen. Now the history brush is on screen. Now remember, we got no layers, nothing complicated here, just a history brush. Now hit the right bracket, make it a little smaller. You see how things are getting a little brighter with the screen mode in there? Maybe this could use a little brightening. There, a little there. Let's see, if I zoom back, let's do the before and after on this. Yep, it makes a difference, before and after. So not only that, we'll do one more. We'll do this necklace thing. Let's make it. We're going to go back from screen, back to overlay, because we want to add contrast. We'll use 50%. Now you have to be careful here, because if you get the skin, let me show you what happens. See how it kind of lightens up the skin? We don't want to do that. We just want to hit these diamonds, I guess they are, huh? If it is, this would be worth a lot. Okay, so I hit that once. I'm going over a second time. Did it do any good? Let's see. Before, after. Let's look at the whole image. Before, after. So anyway, this is all using the history brush. Once you understand that the history brush will take you back to wherever this little marker is, it'll take you back to whatever history state you want to go back to. Once you understand that, you got it. Okay, one more thing before we wrap it up, and let's use the art history brush. It's in the same place in the toolbox, so we'll go with the art history brush this time. Now on the art history brush, I'll show you what we got. We have these presets, but it doesn't come with those presets. Well, it comes with them, but you have to load them. So you click on the gear, and you'll look all the way down here where it says art history. Click on that, and it says you want to replace the current with the tool presets from art history, and say OK. Then you end up with these. I started with nothing. I just wanted to show you that they're there. You just have to do that to get them going. We're not going to use any of these. This, if you notice, changes it to a butterfly. This changes it to some dots. And well, by clicking on these presets, it changes the brush, the mode, the style, and the other choices you have up here. But I want to do, just to get started here, is to right click on the brush and reset the tool. That puts it back to kind of a normal position. Normal, this is the reset position. Tight, short. By the way, you'll see these different choices in here. I'm not sure what they do, but you can see they have long curls, short curls, tight curls. Anyway, tight, short is now let's start with tight, medium. Yeah, that'll be fun. And then what we're going to do is need a new layer. So let's add a new layer. Where's my layers palette? I'm going to have to hit F7. There it is. Okay, and we want to add that new layer. Boom. Okay, we got a new layer. Now we want to fill that with white. So easiest way, well, easiest way is a shortcut, but I'll do it this way. Edit, fill. It's on white. You can pick other choices, but the white is good. Normal, 100%. Okay, so we have this white layer. Now all we have to do, we have a 21 pixel brush. Let's start a little bigger. I'm going to hit the right bracket key, bring it up to 50, and just start painting. I'm kind of going in the middle of this photo. Okay, 50 is too big now. I'm going to change that to 25. There's 25. I'm up here right now. 25. And we'll paint some more. Notice that we get a whole different result when we use 25. So I'm just kind of going over, filling up the thing. Can you see a face yet? There, I think we got one coming. And if you love art, you probably love this. I'm not too good at art, but I've learned this a little bit. Let's see how we can do this. So I'm just kind of filling this in with the art history brush. Okay, that's probably enough of that. Now I'm going to go back up here, and I'm going to hit the left bracket key a couple times. We'll go, let's go down to about 10. Okay, and we'll paint some more. Now you notice we haven't changed brushes, to any butterflies or anything like that, but we have just changed the size of the brush. You see her starting to get a face and what have you. Okay, and now I'm going to change the opacity from 100. I'm going to go down to about 25, 26. Anywhere in there is fine. And we're going to put this in. Okay, we'll fill in this in just any way you want. Yeah, I don't think there's a right or wrong here. You'll kind of get the feel after a while what parts you want more detailed and what parts you want to kind of leave. Looks like a paintbrush, huh? Okay, now to speed this up, I can do this all day. Let me zoom in on the face, and let's go down, back up here again. I'm going to go down even some more. We're going to go down to, let's go to 5 pixels. Okay, and notice how every time we go a smaller brush we get more detail. So, and this is me just trying to clean up those edges and see what we want to do here. I'm working on the eyes, eyebrows, nose, mouth, and then at the end here, I'm just going to run this around the neck and the chest a little bit. I'm going to go down to one pixel brush. So 3, 2, 1. Okay. And what I'm looking for is see if I can get some eyelashes in here. And I think I'm starting to see some eyelashes. So this is starting to come through. And there we have it. Now, I'm not going to do any more because it could take all day. But I think you're starting to get the idea of what you can do with this art history brush. It's really quite simple. I didn't make any fancy changes. All I'm doing is smushing this brush all over the place. And all I've done is change the size of the brush. Oh, let's get the earrings. I think she has another one over here. We'll bring those out a little bit. I've just changed the size of the brush from 50, and now I'm down to 1 pixel. And maybe in this area I'll go 2 pixels. I'll hit the right bracket key. I'm up to 2. I'll run this around. Okay, I'm going to quit because I'm running out of time, but you get the idea. Let me go full screen. Now what you might want to do with this is crop it. So if you do crop it, I hit C for crop. You can kind of crop it any size you want, something like this. I'll double click and there's our crop. So we went from this to this. So I'll give you a quick overview of that. There's one more thing I need to tell you is once you've cropped it, once you've hit this crop button over here, you cannot use the art history brush anymore. See how I get the no-go sign? I can't do it. Now if I go back in history, back to here, I'm good to go. I can continue on. But once I've hit that crop button, it's a no-go. Okay, well, there's some history brush and art history brush tips. I hope you picked up something. Thanks for watching.